Welcome back. So we just went over the rankings for the girls in Muse for 2021. So of course the next step is for us to go over Aqours. So this one is just as old as the last poll. This has been for quite some time. But let's finally go over that poll. This is based on your guys' votes. We're getting about 1,000 votes here. So let's go and see which girl is going to be overall in last place and which one's going to be the favorite. So starting off in ninth place, we have Kanan Matsuura. So this isn't exactly a surprise. This has kind of been a trend in all my polls, as Kanan really does struggle to do well overall. As you can see, she's going to have the least amount of first place, as it was indicated by being a red, and the most amount of last place votes at 200. Kanan overall fails to really impress, as you can see, by a decent amount of votes from 5th to 9th place. As you can see, Kanan struggles to be popular with the guys here, but I mean, she just struggles overall in most categories, and she was the least favorite from 21 to 25 year olds, which is generally the older demographic here. So overall, she just struggles, and it's unfortunate to see that, because I think she does deserve a little bit more love than that. In 8th place, we have Ruby Kurosawa, and Ruby also got the least amount of first place votes, tying with Kanan, so I guess you don't have to feel as bad if you're a Kanan fan, I guess. But you can see Ruby is just not popular. As you can see, she has a boatload of votes from 5th to 9th, which that includes the majority of her votes. And as you can see, she is not popular with males whatsoever. Definitely the least liked by males across the board here. She is a little saved by females here, but it's still a pretty woeful average. And as you can see, the core demographic here, which is 15 to 20 year olds, just don't like Ruby. So as you can see, overall, if you fail to appeal to the main demographic, you're probably going to not do well, and that's the case for Ruby. She just traditionally has not been appealing to overall most fans. Next up, we had Chika Takami, and Chika, if you're been watching as well, you know she hasn't been able to do very well, and many people find that kind of strange because she is the leader. But I guess Honoka hasn't done exactly crazy well either, so I guess maybe that's not too strange. So as you can see from Chika, she definitely hasn't been the least favorite. Her most popular amount of places for votes is going to be 7th place. Don't know if I said that right. But as you can see, a lot of her votes is concentrated between 4th and 8th place here. So she's rarely someone's favorite here. And it's very often you'll see that she's just in the back half here. She doesn't have the most amount of last place votes, as you can see, that belong to other girls before her. But she definitely doesn't impress a lot. So for a lot of people, she's just kind of in the back half, which helps her to get only 7th place overall. Next up, we have Rico Sakarachi in 6th place. And Rico is kind of an interesting situation here. So the one thing that we generally learn about Rico is that she is popular with males and not so much for females, and we could see that here it's still very much the case. Rico does have a decent amount of last place votes here, but you can also see she has a good amount of second place votes. As you can see, that's probably the male demographic versus the female demographic here. I've seen some comments basically explaining it for a lot of guys, just generally because they find her pretty, but a lot of females, they just kind of call her bland, boring, or all she is pretty, and that's it. And I don't think that's necessarily fair, but I guess I'm a guy, so I'm a little biased. But, you know, that's generally the case what I've been seeing here. As you can see from Rico, is that a lot of males do like her, females not so much, and the young audience doesn't like her at all, getting her 5.8. But as you can see, as people turn to grow older, this is kind of probably the maturity that Rico has that really shines, and why older audiences tend to like her more. So in 5th place, in the middle of all the girls here, we have Daya Kurasawa. So Daya gets in the middle here, and we don't really see a whole lot of trends here. Like, females like a little bit more than males, but it's not really too much leaning towards a certain group. I guess older audiences like her a little bit more, but again, I don't think there's too much of a shift or anything I could really say here. As we look, she definitely doesn't have that many 9th place votes here with 89, but again, she also doesn't have a whole lot of first place votes with 92 here. Her most popular place is 4th place with 169 votes, and you can see it's kind of spread around here, where most of the votes kind of tend to go to 4th and 8th. But overall, a little bit better than the other groups, as it was a little shifted a little more upwards, with the 4th place being her most popular placing. In 4th place, we have Hanamaru Kunikida. So Hanamaru is more popular placing and is surprisingly actually 1st place. But of course, she didn't get 1st overall, but she has a decent amount of votes that is towards the upper half here. But she does have only 84 votes for 8th place, so you can see not too many people are necessarily not a huge fan of her. But as you can see, it's kind of mostly spread out. So she definitely has her fans. She definitely has a lot of people who think she's kind of in the middle, and she has fans who, or should say, people who don't care for her as much. As you start looking at the trends, there's nothing really that you can figure out from here. Yes, slightly more popular with males, but it's only slightly so. So I don't know what to really say here. As overall, she's been kind of average for basically every group, and there's all kinds of people who have all different kind of feelings for her. In 3rd place, we have Yo Watanabe. So Yo gets 3rd place, and she has been doing pretty well overall in a lot of these polls. Her most popular placing is 1st place, just like Hanamaru. So why did she get 1st place? Well, there are a decent amount of 8th place votes, which definitely brings her a little down. Yo is definitely a little bit more popular with the males, as you can see from her 4.2 compared to the 4.8 for females. And as you can see, she is most popular with the popular demographic of 15 to 20 year olds. That's the main demographic of watchers. And she's not so popular with the younger audience, and with the older audience, not as much either. But overall, she's still really liked here. As you can see, a decent amount of her votes are in the top 3, but there also is a handful being 5th through 8th here, which does bring her down a bit. But overall, Yo, relatively popular. In 2nd place, we have Mari Ohara. So Mari gets 2nd place, and her most popular place is actually 3rd place with 175 votes, which definitely helps her a lot. And she also has a good amount of votes for 2nd place and 4th place, and just basically not last is kind of how her rankings go, but definitely more weighted towards the top here, which of course explains why she did pretty well overall, as she definitely has a lot of people who generally think alright of her, and not a whole lot of people who don't really like her at all. As you can see, she is a little bit more popular with females than males, and she definitely appeals to the younger audience, as usually more goofy characters, the ones who kind of like messing around, which is definitely kind of Mari's thing. It appeals to them, as you can see, the younger they get, the more liked she gets overall. And of course, for the favorite for Aqours, well, it's Yoshiko Tsushima or Yohane, with no surprise whatsoever, to least to me, as it's pretty clear Yohane has been very popular. As you can see, she got the most 1st place votes and 2nd place votes. It's not really that close here, as she is just really popular. Her least placed votes is 8th place with 54, and you can see 7th and 9th, she doesn't get a whole lot there. She is really heavily weighted towards the top 3 places, and she just literally kills every category. She is the most popular for males, females, the younger audience, the core demographic, and the older audience. It's ridiculous. Yohane, by miles, is the favorite, and it's just clear overall. And yeah, it's kind of been there for a long time here. Amadi has kind of given her a run for money, but overall, Yoshiko really kills it in Aqours. So if you're curious to see the overall stats, have them all compared across, you can take a look at this image here. I also of course has some units just like I did last time, so I'll be focusing on that, but you can take a look at the sections if you want to compare and see where these girls rank amongst each other. For subunits, it's not really a surprise. Sharon is the least favorite, Azalea is the middle one, and Guilty Kiss has been the most popular, and that is true literally through all the categories. So it's not really a surprise. Sharon is kind of getting the similar treatment as Bontemps gets, as Bontemps gets kind of forgotten and it was definitively the worst. Although this one is a little bit closer, Guilty Kiss is still definitively the first, while Azalea is kind of in the middle and not really competing with Guilty Kiss. And then Sharon is kind of closer, but not, super definitively last. But you can take a look, as like males really love Guilty Kiss more than the females, but it's still overall loved by a lot of people here. And for Azalea, the most popular category to get is actually for the younger audience, which is kind of interesting. But overall, it's still Guilty Kiss basically just sweeps here, and it's not really close. But, you know, I thought it was pretty interesting to take a look at all of these girls, where they rank. Usually, it's not a whole lot of surprises. I basically know the trends at this point, so that didn't so much. But, you know, these girls are still releasing more content, so it definitely could change in the future. Although, I don't know if I would call content going to be significant enough to change, since there's just already so much content already. I don't see that changing a whole lot in the future. But anyways, if you're curious to look at the demographics, I have them all listed out here for countries, as well as the genders and age groups if you're curious to see that. And of course, thank you to all the people who are participating in this poll. These people made this poll possible. So if you're interested in having your name in this kind of section in the future, make sure you stay tuned for more polls like this in the future, and we'll definitely look forward to you being a part of it. And of course, big shout out to people like Humax who support this channel. Thank you so much. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Was these results surprising to you, or did you figure out this is what was expected? If one of your girls is towards the back, why should people like them more? Give them a chance. You know, maybe you have a song you want to point to, or there's some lot of funny moments in the anime, and you think this is going to change people's minds, because, you know, sometimes people's minds change. That's still true to me till this day. Although mostly for me as an Aqua, it's pretty set. But you never know. There's always things that can really help, and I always like listening to new Aqua solo songs that are coming out, which definitely can help influence my opinions on these girls as well. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Who is your favorite girl and why? And if they need more love, what do they need more love? And explain in the comments below so we can see other people maybe give those girls another chance, and maybe change these rankings some point in the future. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in another video soon.